Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome, Win-Win Nation. It's a pleasure to be here yet again, another wonderful Sunday afternoon. And we are so happy that you have taken the time to stop by and be with us today. Welcome. Now, before you get comfy and sit back and chillax, go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and follow or subscribe if your first time you're tuning in on whatever platform that you are receiving this video this wonderful day. And be sure to drop some comments and leave some love with our guest that we have today. And I am so excited, so honored, and feel so privileged to be able to sit and have a conversation with this, how do I put her? Silent but powerful bomb. Yeah. Yep. And let me, before we bring her on stage, I just want to go ahead and just share a bit with you about who we have as our guest today, Galyn Fergerson. Do you feel your audience is too small to make an impact? Have you been waiting to get more followers before you launch your next product or service? What if there is a way to stand out from the noise online and get the attention your ideal client, even if you have a small audience? Galyn Fergerson, our guest, is going to talk to us on the Win-Win Live show on how to leverage the most powerful marketing tool to attract your higher quality clients. Galyn Fergerson is a speaker, author, marketing strategist, the founder of GRITS Productions LLC, a creative media firm that helps businesses speak to and convert clients online effortlessly. Galyn was once told she needed 50K followers to be credible, but with the most powerful marketing tool of storytelling, more like story selling, she has worked with household brands and names such as Pepsi, Bloomingdale's, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, without 50K followers. Did you guys hear that? Without 50K followers. During this empowering conversation, Galyn is going to share with us her story selling framework. What she uses to attract and convert clients online with ease. And with that, please help me welcome the founder, the creator of GRITS Production LLC, Galyn Fergerson.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome, and it's my pleasure. Now, we're going to jump on right in because I see already that this is going to be a very meaty interview, and we want to be sure to deliver it all, the full 5-course meal. So, Galyn,
Mhm.
If we were to ask you, if you were to ask your family and your friends, who is Galyn? What do you think their responses would be?
Ooh, they would probably say she is a clown. I am the family comedian. So it's only those that know me personally would think that of me, because people who don't know me would say I'm soft spoken or reserved, or kind of laid back. But when I'm close to people, people know me, I am very, very funny. So I like to laugh.
Awesome, awesome. And with that, I'm going to share with you just a tad bit more of Galyn Fergerson. Stay tuned.
My name is Galyn Fergerson, and I'm a marketing strategist. I lead a new wave of entrepreneurs. They say the biggest challenge is lack of access to capital, but we believe more customers grow businesses. They also say you need a business degree to start a business, be certified to attract clients, a big audience to be credible. All that is validation. We believe validation is for parking, not success. When it seems we have no fighting chance in the market and no investor understands us, how do we grow? We get more customers and grow our businesses every single day with our story. Who are we? We are story sellers, and our stories are our credentials. We believe a story changes beliefs, creates a bond, sparks emotion, and inspires everyone who hears to take action. It is my mission to help entrepreneurs to realize the key to unlocking true freedom is telling their story.
Validation is for parking and not
Success.
success. Awesome. Now you would have heard what Galen's response was just now to what family and friends would say, who is Galyn? And you would have seen that short clip where she shared a little more about herself. But I'm going to put Galyn on the spot today and ask Galyn, who do you say Galyn is?
Mm. Well, I think what you said earlier in the introduction, a very uh, quiet bomb. I think that's what you said.
Yes.
I've been told before that I was a quiet storm. So I think it's very aligned. I've had someone call me that before,
Wow.
and I guess that would be kind of accurate. I'm the type of person that sits back and peeps out the scene, observe the room, and
Mhm.
then I show up. Right. So
Um,
I think it's kind of accurate how you describe me. I'm the type where I speak when spoken to. I don't kind of assert myself as much as I should, but when I do, you
mhm.
get a full picture.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love that. Did you happen upon the stage of coaching? Now, for those who don't know, a great portion of GRITS Production LLC focuses on coaching. And so, Galen, did you happen upon coaching? Why coaching?
Well, it was something I actually resisted for a long time because I did not identify as a coach. I've always said I'm a marketing strategist
Mhm.
first and foremost. And that is because, coaching has a bad rep. There are a lot of people who coach and have no experience, no results, no expertise, no knowledge of the thing they're coaching about. They're very good marketers. They're trying to sell you something. And then when you buy it, you don't get what you pay for. So coaching and courses, they have a bad rep. So I was trying to stay away from that
Wow.
title of coaching. And it was actually one of my clients that said, Galyn, why don't you coach? You are a very good coach. You don't just give us the strategy, you really guide us through our obstacles, things that get in our way, and give us the tactics and the strategy. You should really consider coaching. And then I got the opportunity to actually become a coach for mastermind.com, which is founded by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So it became something I did. So that's how I got into it. A client said
Wow.
that's what I was doing, and I didn't realize it. So that's how I got into it.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm very grateful for that client. And often, Galen, that's how God does it for us. It's kind of like use somebody else to identify it, then pull it out.
Mhm.
I'm very grateful for that client. Wow.
Me too.
You too. And how has it been since now you would have shared just now that because of the bad rap that
Mhm.
coaching and online courses would have had attracted to it, you were staying away from it. But since you have given in and say yes and surrender, what has it been like for you? What has that journey been like?
It's the thing that I resisted is actually the thing that gives me the most joy. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love helping people.
Yeah,
I love seeing the breakthrough right there on the spot
yeah,
when I help people. And I realized that in coaching, people are just a mirror of me. The thing that holds me back, the thing that challenges me, or the thing that challenges, my clients, the things that I desire, the things that we have in common. I'm a very spiritual person. I always tell people I believe in God. I always try to say things like the source or the universe to try to make it comfortable for everybody. But the truth is, I'm a child of God. And so I happen to attract people who also, feel like they're a child of God as well and part of the kingdom. So that's what I love about coaching. You naturally attract people who are like you in some sense. Even though you're leading them, they are just like you.
Wow, wow, I love that. How was your passion conceived and birthed? The passion that you have for marketing and showing up and showing this is what it takes. This is what I've proven. This is what I've been put to the test, and I'm here to deliver it to you. How did that passion conceived and birth
Mm-hmm.
and through you?
Well, it started from a job. I worked in banking for years, and we would have to sell, financial products, checking accounts, credit cards, insurance. And I would always come up with these. At that time, I didn't know they were campaigns, but I would always come up with these campaigns and ideas and marketing objections to do. And it would work. It would get our bank to like number one in the region. I was number one in the region for sales and referrals. But my manager would say, Galyn, these are great ideas. They're wonderful, but you got to use what corporate sends us. I would go home and create poster boards and flyers in my home for the customers. And I was told I couldn't use that. I got to use corporate. So I said, well, how do I work with corporate? Where's the idea department in the banking industry? How do I work for that department? And she said, oh, that's marketing. And I said, well, how do I do marketing? And she said, well, you have to have a degree. And I did not have a degree in marketing. I went to school for biology and I did not finish school. And so I could not get hired in the marketing department, something that just came natural to me, something that worked for my branch, for my coworkers, for my team. And I couldn't utilize my skills because I did not have the degree. So I ended up leaving the banking industry and got into the fashion industry. And I worked behind the scenes with designers, stylists, makeup artists, hairstylists, and I was helping them with what we call now digital marketing. We didn't have a name for it like that back then, but I was helping them get new clients and get brand awareness online through social media. And what I realized that nobody cared that I didn't have a degree. They only cared that I got them the results, that I got them clients, that I got them known to other people that they wouldn't be able to reach otherwise. And so that was an aha moment for me. One, I recognized that I had a skill in marketing and I did not need the degree.
Wow, wow, wow. So you happened upon that. I have a skill in marketing. I have a knack for this.
Yes.
Wow. So in the structured realm, in the structured theme and spheres, you had to have a degree.
Right.
But in this online
Mm-hmm.
sphere is like, as long as you bring us the results, we're good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow, wow. And since you have been in that in this spheres where it's online and you're showing up and you're delivering, what has that done for you, in you, and through you?
Well, it's allowed me to see a gift that I didn't know I had, that didn't require any external. That's why I have the line, validation is for parking and not success, because I know that I have a gift. I have something within me that's an intrinsic value that I was born with, that was God-given, that does not require a degree, a certification, a piece of paper. It doesn't require somebody else giving me permission. And so I know that I have the right to be here, to be present, to belong, and to share my gift. That's what I was born to do, to share my gift, to help people, to create transformation, to help people have new beliefs about themselves. And so that's what it has done for me. Just going on that journey and following the thing that I know that I can do and I'm called to do.
Wow. Have you a gift? We're asking here. We are present here this afternoon, and by Galyn sharing her story, we're posing the question to you this afternoon. Do you have a gift? What have you been doing with that gift? Is it serving anyone? Is it serving you? Is it serving anyone? If your answer to the first is yes, and if your answer to the following is no or no, it's time. We are saying today is that day. The mere fact that you happened upon this video or you intentionally clicked to watch this video, you are saying, and the source, God, whom we serve, is saying, it's your time. It's your time to share that gift with whomsoever is called to you, is aligned to you. It's your time. Now, just before we go any further with our guest, Galyn, we're going to share what her gift has done in the life of one. And that is testimony to you that your people are waiting on you to be served by your gift. Tune in, listen, and enjoy.
I am very happy that I noticed Galyn Fergerson's comment on Facebook, because whatever she said, which I'm sure was wise, I decided to reach out to her directly and see if I could enlist her help. I'm Alexa Fisher. I'm a confidence coach. I'm the creator of Wish Beads. I am a passionate entrepreneur that has so many ideas that I often need a little clarity on how best to execute them with my marketing. So after Galyn and I connected, we did an incredible strategy session, and I have to say, she completely over-delivered. There is no stone that she leaves unturned. There is no system that she hasn't explored. She was able to give me detailed notes about all the things that we discussed. And as an entrepreneur, I can't tell you how many times you just can't see the forest from the trees. You know, you're so in it that you can't get the clarity outside of it to know what to do next, to how to really reach and speak to and convert your ideal customer. So Galyn, thank you. If you're considering working with her, I absolutely would recommend it. I know that she's going to be a go-to resource for me. And I'm so excited that she came into my world.
Now, while Galyn may be new to you, if you've never heard of her before, her links will be with this video for you to go and click and search her out. If you feel that within you to say, I need to connect with this lady, move on it, action it. Now, Galyn, one of the things that I've been in rooms with you, been on platforms with you, and one of the things that stands out to me is how you have your clients to speak to and to reach to, but you constantly, for persons who are on the platform, especially the platforms that you're hosting, you constantly validate them by shouting them out. This person is good in this person is good to that. So if you need this type of coach, or if you need that type of coach, that's a go-to person. That speaks volumes in a world where it is like dog eat dog, is like just me, myself, and I, especially on the online arena. And I want to ask, what has made you to be a person and an individual like that?
Yeah. Well, like I said, when you asked me who I was, and I told you, I'm a child of God. And so, my God is the source of abundance, is the treasures, the gifts, the resources are endless, they're infinite, right? Wealth is infinite. So the pie is big enough for everyone, right? So that's one of the reasons I don't mind shouting out other people, validating other people, because what I give or what somebody else gets doesn't take away from my pot. And we all, all tides rise, all boats, right? So what I believe, and I also believe coaches need coaches. So for instance, me, I know, the gift that I have, I know the magic that I have, but even with my wins, that testimonial that you got to see from Alexa, sometimes I still get stuck. I still remember those days when people told me no, told me what I couldn't do, told me because I didn't have a degree. That still comes up every now and then. And so if I didn't have someone like you in my corner to help me get unstuck, to remind me of who I am, I wouldn't be able to show up on those platforms that you see me on. So a lot of times people think just see me, being edified, but it's people like you behind the scenes that are encouraging me, lifting me up, reminding me of who I am and who I get to be so that I can show up. So I always like to give thanks for the people that helped me get to where I am. So I just want to publicly say thank you to you as well for all the encouragement that you have given me.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Thank you. And the honor is mine. Thank you so much. That's powerful. And you know what? That speaks to Galyn as a child growing up. We're often, I'm not sure if you would have heard this in the first world in North America, but we're often reminded no man is an island, no man stands alone. Community. And even at times when I study and go back to Genesis, I realize God didn't make anyone to stand by itself. He was after family. And that is so powerful. I believe definitely that is a message that will never die and should always just be bullhorned so loud for us all to know and to be reminded. Powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Galyn, we know diamonds are made under extreme pressure. And we know pure gold is made under extremely high temperatures. What extreme pressure and extremely high heat temperatures Galyn would have walked through to be who she is today, the woman she is today? Can you please share with us?
Sure. I would say it was people telling me no. The rejections I got along the way. I always tell people my rejections have always turned into my blessings, because around that same time that I transitioned from banking to the fashion industry. The reason I was able to help those stylists and designers and hairstylists with marketing is because I tried to model first. I did model, but a lot of times I got rejected. A lot of times I would get to those fashion shows and designers would say, I don't have anything for your body. We can't put you on the stage. And so I got told no a lot of times, right to my face. And so for me, what I told myself is that when people won't let me on their stage, I get to create my own stage. And so it's been so many stages that I've tried to get on. I've tried modeling, tried acting. I was too big for that stage. I tried dancing. I was too big for that stage. And so it was a matter of finding a stage that was big enough for me. And so, and what that required with the pressure made me create my own stage. So from doing marketing for people in the fashion industry allowed me to create fashion shows myself and produce fashion events. And that led me to working with my first big client, which was Bloomingdale's. And I started doing other fashion shows and fashion events and events throughout Atlanta. And that got me attention of a national TV network, TV One. And I got to launch my business on a really big stage. So when I couldn't get on these small stages, I ended up being on really big stages, national TV network, to tell people exactly what I do. And that kept me busy for a long time by being on the TV network, showing people exactly what I was capable of. So that pressure of being rejected, being told no, being told I can't get on somebody's stage allowed me to know that I can create my own stage.
Awesome. And you dove into and touched on some future questions that I have coming here. As you shared just now, Galen, one of the questions that popped in my mind is, what was the processing like? Because we know the no, and there's a mentor of mine, mentors from a distance, that he turned the no into a game, a no game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like every 10 no's, a yes should come. And if a yes comes sooner, he starts again from number one. So he turned it into a game. But for you, what was that processing? Because you had to have process it here in order for you to still keep going and showed up on that big stage. What was that process like, Kayla?
The process was, I don't take no for an answer. That's one of the processes. Another, I wouldn't say was a process. I say it's an intrinsic value. There's an intrinsic value that we all are born with. And mine is to rebel. I'm a fighter. I'm a natural fighter. So somebody telling me no just makes me want to fight. Right.
Wow.
And so growing up, I had experiences where I felt like I had to fight. I grew up going to a Christian private school where I was the only Black student from kindergarten to 8th grade. So there were a lot of prejudice things, being excluded in situations just because of my skin color. And it just made me a fighter. A lot of things that we went through growing up as a child that we taught ourselves to survive is actually our gift. So what I went through to survive, going through that private school and fighting, is actually part of my gift. It's my intrinsic value. So if I didn't have that experience where I had to fight through school, and I didn't have the experience where I had to rebel, I wouldn't have had that thing to really get me to create my own stage. So those past experience that I got to be able to fight is how I was able to fight through those rejections, fight through those no's, and okay, no problem. I just create my own stage. So I think that is where it came from, my own intrinsic value. That's what that processing come from.
Yes. I love that. Thank you so much for answering. I love that. As you were sharing there just now, the question popped in my mind. GRIT Productions, LLC. Is that where that comes from? Like, GRIT?
No, it actually comes from, I'm from Griffin, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. I'm a Southern girl. So I grew up eating grits. That was a breakfast staple. That's my favorite food, favorite meal. And so GRITS, GRITS, stands for Girl Raised in the South.
Wow. But it's quite, we can say that it's quite fitting to what made you. Because as you were sharing just now, that's what prompted me, like, grits. You had to have some grits to make it through those early years in that school where you're the only dark colored girl. Wow. So it comes all quite in line. I love that. Love that. The word, this series is Meet the Creator of. The word create. What pops? I'm going to be popping some words at you, maybe 2 or 3 bunched together. Create. What comes up in you right away?
That's what I do. That's who I am. I'm a creator. Is what I do. I create.
Awesome. Marketing,
communication. Communication is one of the highest forms of value. You got to be able to tell people who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Awesome. Sales
is the bloodline, the lifeline of your business. You are here to sell something. If somebody doesn't buy anything from you, they're going to buy from somebody else. So don't be afraid to sell.
Entrepreneurship.
I feel like I'm a natural entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. We love to solve problems for people. And that's what I think of, being a problem solver when I have entrepreneurship.
Awesome. Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi.
Ooh, I would say inspiration, role models, bosses, my employers, but some of the greatest to do what I do, which is lead people, inspire people, motivate people. One of the best life coaches and business coaches out there in the world.
Awesome. And with that, we're going to take a pause while I share with you a promo. haven't gotten your copy as yet, the I Am Loved and the Firm Gratitude Journal awaits you to bring transformation to your life. Galyn,
Mhm.
stories.
Story is the most powerful marketing tool. Everybody has a story.
Awesome. Story selling.
Story selling is not just telling a good story, but telling a good, compelling story that makes people want to take action.
Out of your story selling hat, I dare to say, you
Mhm.
hold out a strategy, a
Mhm.
mastermind called Plot. Can you
Mhm.
share with us, for those who are tuning in, what's that?
Yes.
And from whence did it come?
Yeah, so I believe that you can sell anything to anyone with a good, compelling story. That's why instead of saying storytelling, I say story selling,
Mhm.
right? So, like I said, when you tell a good story, it makes people say, "Oh, that's amazing, that's great," right? They make it a standing ovation. But if you are in business and you're telling stories, you don't want people to just clap and give you a standing ovation. You want people to say, "What's next? How can I work with you? What's the
Yes.
next step? How can I find out more about you after hearing your story?" And so the way to do that is to make sure you have a framework that you use to tell your story. And I call that the plot method. So that's my story selling framework. And the plot method, PLOT, the P is for problem, where you start out talking about the problems that you faced in the past, like I've been doing so far in this conversation, talking about all the problems I had in the past, my rejections, people that said no to me. By me telling those stories, by me talking about problems I had, there are people out there who could be my potential clients are having the same exact problems today. And when they hear my problems, now they feel like, okay, there's somebody who's experienced what I've experienced or something similar. So they understand what I'm going through. And people buy when they feel understood. And if I can articulate the problem, the pain better than anybody else out there through my story, then the audience will feel like that I can also solve that problem and that pain better than anyone else. So that's the P in the plot. The L in plot is the lesson. So what was the big aha moment, the breakthrough that I got? So like I said, I learned that I can create my own stage. I learned that I'm a fighter, that I rebel. These are things that I used to survive. I now use to thrive, right? So that's the big aha, the big lesson. And everybody has intrinsic value. Everybody has something inside of them that doesn't require external things. A lot of people want to be coaches and feel like they need a certification. A lot of people want to go into business and feel like they need a business degree. You don't need any of those things. So that's the big lesson that I've learned within my own story. So you got to have a lesson, a breakthrough, a light bulb moment that goes off in your journey. So that's the L. The O in the plot method is the opportunity. So the opportunity is, how do you work with me? What's next? What can I give you? What is my strategy? So the opportunity to work for me, you can either get coached by me or you get a strategy through me, or both. So I have like a mastermind where I help people, get clarity in their problem, get clarity in their offer, get clarity what it is that's within them that they can use to attract and convert clients using the power of story selling. And then the transformation is, okay, I get this result when I work with you, but what's the big transformation? The transformation is why people buy. What people buy is the result, right? So for you, I know you help people get unstuck. So they will buy from you because they want to get unstuck. But the transformation is, now that I'm unstuck, I
Yes.
get to be on these platforms. If you hadn't instilled in me how to get unstuck, how to have better personal development, how to have self-mastery, how to know that I am loved, if I didn't have you affirming me, I probably wouldn't have been on this podcast, right? So that's the transformation. The result is being loved and being affirmed, but the transformation is me showing up on a podcast and telling people who I am and what I do. So that's the transformation I get from working with you. So you got to have a transformation in addition to the results, because the transformation is why people buy. So that's the PLOT, the plot method in the story selling signature framework.
Thank you. Now, if you is an entrepreneur, Galyn Fergerson, the creator of GRITS Production LLC, the creator of the Plot Mastermind Method Strategy Secret, definitely you need to hit up Galyn. if you intend, as we are looking to enter in Q4, so quickly, because time is going like that, to close out this year and to
Mhm.
close it out strong, but start 2024 even stronger.
Mhm.
Hit your lady up, hit your girl up, Galyn
Thank you.
Fergerson.
Thank you.
Now, as she would have shared just now, like the power of story selling, not so much storytelling, but there's a strategy that goes with the telling, the plot method. We're going to share a story with you with one of our clients.
Hi, I'm Mark Butler, inspirational leader, speaker, and teacher of leadership development. And I am here to give thanks to Galyn, if you are hearing this, and I'll tell you why. Prior to the pandemic, the COVID-19, I was going and traveling and having my way with the business. I understood I had a plan, and I was working that plan and able to see my business as well as my life elevate. But once the pandemic happened, everything that I was doing as a personal speaker, it got shut down, and I was forced to make a decision. Either you learn how to pivot and find something else and thrive or survive, or you plummet and sink. And I gotta admit, I was sinking, and I was sinking fast. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to learn quickly on the fly. And I didn't have as much money as I thought to pay people to teach me or work the virtual field as fast as I needed. Until I opened up an app one day and I heard some speakers talking, other professionals. It was about how to make it in the virtual field and how to gain ground as influencers. And it was a mixed different conversations, but one of them turned around to what I needed. And when it turned towards what I needed and what I was going through, I was able to hear the voice of Galyn speak very passionately. It's like it came from a place of sincerity and experience. And that prompt, it actually compelled me to know her. I was scrambling, like, I gotta get her information, because my hair is standing on top of my head and I had no idea what to do. I knew I had to do something. It wasn't even the hour phone call that we had. But within that time, Galyn was able to unravel my whole year's worth of confusion and the duress. And she turned it into something that I can actually see. Like, I can see the plan so clearly on how to navigate through this and still become the influential speaker that I am on a virtual platform easily, and still grow and scale and elevate. All of those things that apply today, I now have confidence that I can do. And it's because of Galyn. And she made a plan so clear that it's almost impossible not to understand. But she told me that if I do have any questions, that I can still keep up with her. She gave it to me with so much compassion. And I know that it comes from a place that she's been through and experienced, and I appreciate that. She made a plan. She gave me advice according to where I wanted and where I wanted to go in this life, where I wanted to go. Not the prepackaged stuff that we witnessed, where I wanted to go. So Galyn, if you're hearing this, or anybody who's hearing this, I promise you, you cannot go wrong, and it will be advantageous to your life and your career if you are taking it seriously, to give Galyn a call. Until then, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Once again, God bless you, and take care.
I gotta get to her. Where are her deets, her contacts? Don't worry. Chillax. We're gonna be right here with this video, okay? We're gonna make the links clickable so it's an easy access. Click and you're right on her page. Now, what was that just now? A story. Did that impact you? Did it like connect with you? That was what happened when Galyn came on that app, on that platform, and she started speaking. It connected with him, and he had to reach out to her. Galyn, now as we are closing the wrap up, I'm going to be throwing some additional words at you, and I'm going to be asking you just going through them rapid fire. Permission.
I don't need it.
Ah, love it. Resilience.
I got it.
Ah, future.
It's bright and blessed and highly favored.
Awesome. What do you remember? Who do you remember being?
Powerful.
Awesome. What do you remember doing?
Serving others.
Awesome. What do you remember having?
Having belief in myself.
Ah, love it, love it, love it. Where do you remember going?
I remember going in the path and direction that God has already set aside for me before I came into this earth.
Awesome, awesome. I love the answer that Galyn gave just now to what do you remember having? Having belief in yourself. Now, we, both Galyn and myself, will partner with you and said not only we are encouraging you to have belief in yourself, but we have belief in you too, and the God that resides on the inside of you. Partner with him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get going. Galyn, as we wrap up with these few questions, if God was to talk about Galyn, like how he talked about Job in scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
if God was to talk about Galyn, what do you suppose he would say?
He would say, she always found me. And I try to look at my life. And I know God has been seeing this because I know he has, but I feel like this is God and this is me. And along my life, I just kept drifting, trying to find my own way. And I get out here and I'd be like, God, are you there? Have you left me? And then something say, well, start praying, start reading the word. Have you been back to church lately?
Wow.
Are you listening? And then I realized God never left. He's always been in the same place. He's always been there. And I just keep drifting. So if God would say something about me, he would say, that's my child. I love her. Sometimes she drifts away, but she comes back to me.
Wow. Wow. I love that. I love that. Is that you?
Yes, that
You.
is.
Amen.
Oh, to your audience.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, is that you? If that is you and you're in a drifted place right now, come back. Come back.
Yes.
That's so powerful, Galyn. He never left. He's
Mhm.
constant. We're the one who drift, but he's constant. So powerful. Thank you for that reminder.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. If he was to say where she needs work, she still needs some work in. If God was to say, okay, yep, Galyn is my daughter. She drifts sometime, but she always comes back. If he was to highlight like where precisely she still needs some working on, what would that be?
Well, like I said, I'm a fighter. So I would say that God says that I need work in relying more on him, allowing him to fight for me. I don't have to do as much fighting. It's gotten me to where I am. Now I can rely on him, trust in him, believe in him. He will take care of my battles for me. I don't have to do all the fighting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And that goes, the scripture that comes to mind is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not. The doing the fighting by myself is the leaning on understanding, but in all, just acknowledge him. Relax. Wow. Love it, love it, love it. And the last question I would like to ask as it pertains to this is, what would he brag about concerning Galyn?
I think he would brag on the fact that here's another one of my children, another creation that I made that glorifies me, that when people look at her, they see me. So I think that's what he would say.
Awesome. For a brief moment, there was an interruption. Can I ask you just to repeat that, please?
Yes, I said that I believe what he would brag about on me is that I'm his child, and that what did I say? I'm trying to think, what did I say? But I know he would brag about me saying that, I want his greatest creation. Yeah, that's what I said. I want his greatest creation, and I always glorify him. And when people look at me, they see God.
Wow. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Now, as we are bringing the curtain to a close, Galen, I'd love to just open the platform for the next 2 to 3 minutes for you to just share what's on your heart, whether it be however you feel led to. What would you like for your closing remarks to be to the folks who are listening?
Yes. So get you a coach, okay? Get you a Michelle, get someone behind you because she's behind me. So I look at her show and it's called a win-win. Like, you're here for a reason. You're here to help others win. But when you partner with someone, you have someone to guide you, to, love on you, to affirm you, like Michelle, that is a win-win. Okay. So get you a Michelle, get you someone who can mentor you, guide you, because yes, you have a gift. Yes, you're here to serve, but coaches need coaches too. Coaches need mentors and guide. And like she said, we're not here on the island, right? There's no I in team. We cannot do this alone. God created Adam and Eve and generations, right? We're not supposed to do this alone, right? If you think of people who are successful, millionaires, wealthy, just doing great in their lives, they didn't do it by themselves. So get you a Michelle, get you someone who can love and affirm on you. That is a real win-win.
Yes. Wow. Powerful. The I am team. Interesting. Did you all catch that? Well, what did I tell you guys? What did I tell you about Lady Galen? She's promoting and blessing and just creating that open door to lift up and validate others. Thank you, Galen. I am so pleased and so pumped to have you here. Now, just before we go, let me see. Yeah. Okay. We're going to give a small taste, another taste to you guys of Galyn Fergerson. Tune in.
Hello, everybody. I'm Galyn Fergerson, and today I want to inspire you to create your own stage. For years, I wasted time trying to get on somebody else's stage, but when I created my own stage, I got the freedom to spend more time with my family, travel more, work from home, work less hours, and make more money. I want to share with you my brief journey of how I got to this point. My heart was broken and my world ended when I was about 10 years old, and my ballet dancer told me that I needed to do something about my weight. Right after that, I didn't get an audition for a ballet production. I decided that everything that I wanted that I couldn't get, every time I failed, it was because I was too fat or people would overlook my talent because of my weight. So I tried to find other stages. I tried to find a stage dancing with the marching band on a football field. But when I got to college, they told me that if I couldn't fit the graduating seniors' uniforms, I couldn't make the squad. So I tried to find another stage acting. But my acting coach said, because of your weight, you're going to be typecasted as the Pine Saw lady and you'll never have a leading role. So I tried to find another stage doing runway modeling. And then at fashion shows, there weren't any plus size designers, or plus size designers didn't have my size. So I got tired of trying to get on somebody else's stage. I got tired of finding other stage. And I realized that whole time I ended up becoming a dance choreographer. I ended up being featured on a reality TV show. And I ended up producing fashion shows myself from Atlanta to New York. I produced Atlanta's first plus size fashion week, and I produced the first plus size show for Bloomingdale's in Atlanta's Lenox Mall. I realized that I was a boss and I could create my own stage. And if you're like me, put hashtag create your own stage below in the comments if you felt like people overlooked you because of your weight or your height or your ethnicity or your lack of education or your disability or your lack of money. If you feel like you've been overlooked and you should be doing more in your life, you have a bigger purpose, put hashtag create your own stage below in the comments. And let me tell you the truth. Everything that you know and everything that you have right now is enough to get everything you want in life. You have to think like a boss to be like a boss. Share this video if this inspired you, or tag a friend below. Bye. Where did you find that?
I got my sources, girl. You gotta think like a boss, be a boss. Now, guys, you definitely need to create your stage. And as you're in that creating your stage moment and you need help in marketing that stage or some ideas in the creation of that stage, this is a lady. Here is a proven success of what resilience can do when you constantly getting no, when you think that the strike is out and it's time to rise again. And here is help in the person of Galyn Fergerson. Galyn, thank you. And it's a pleasure. And I look forward to us continue working together. Do have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. We meet again next week, same time, same place, right here on the Win-Win Live Show, 3 p.m. Go ahead, share, follow, subscribe, and leave some love for Galyn as you go. God bless you. Bye now.